Is the $5 dinner still possible in 2024? We're gonna find out in this video. I'm sitting outside of Walmart. We're gonna go in and I'm gonna see how many meals I can put together for around $5 that would theoretically feed my family of 5. That's 2 adults and 3 children ages 14, 11, and 10. This one I just call Ramen Menestron. My mom used to add ramen noodles to canned soup to make it stretch a little bit farther. So for this one, I'm starting with 2 cans of vegetable beef soup at 92 cents a piece, and then I'm picking up a can of beans. I got the white kidney beans, a can of diced tomatoes, a package of frozen mixed vegetables, and then 2 packages of ramen. You could go with regular pasta, but I like the ramen because it comes with a seasoning packet that will help flavor the soup, and it also has a little fat in it. Like the ramen noodles have more fat than traditional pasta, which I think is gonna help make the soup a little bit more satisfying. I just combine all of those ingredients except the ramen with a little bit of water, simmer it, add the ramen noodles in, and voila, I have a really yummy soup, and it comes out to $5.20. I can still get a box of pancake mix at my Walmart for under $2. This was $1.98. I want to look for the complete pancake mix, meaning that I only need to add water to turn this into pancakes. And instead of using butter and syrup, I'm going for something that's going to add a little bit more satisfaction, and that is peanut butter. And I can get a small jar of crunchy or smooth peanut butter for $1.84. And that leaves me with a little over $1, and I can pick up about 2 pounds of bananas. So I can make some really delicious pancakes with peanut butter and top it with some sliced bananas for, I think, a really filling, satisfying meal for right around $5. Over in the section with the rice and beans, they have on the bottom shelf at my Walmart packages of 15 bean soup mix from Hearst's Ham Beans brand. They're 20-ounce packages, and the Cajun variety is $2.36. I love that there is a seasoning packet in the package of beans, and there are directions on the back of the package for how to make the soup. And what I would do is only pick up the can of tomatoes that the directions calls for, and then head on over to the meat section and either pick up an inexpensive smoked sausage, or I think chorizo might work okay in this. Cook up some chorizo to put in it and then make it according to the package directions with just those 2 ingredients. And that actually brings my total today only to $4.62. So you could even maybe pick up a couple of bananas for a fruit option, or maybe hit up the discount bakery rack to see if there's some bread that you can toast. Just an idea. So I know that fried rice is a very common budget meal, and if I am not working with a lot of pantry staples like seasonings and condiments and things that I would need to make that, here's how I would make it work on a $5 budget. I'd start with a box of this Chicken Helper chicken fried rice. Now, we're not gonna put any chicken in it, but what this has in it is a seasoning packet. So then I would pick up just a 1-pound bag of white rice, some peas and carrots from the frozen vegetable section. And I don't know about you guys, but at my Walmart, I can actually buy eggs by the half dozen. I can get a half dozen eggs for a little over $1. Probably make this according to the package directions, and then add some cooked rice from my plain rice package, throw in my steam in the bag veggies, and then scramble up some eggs on the side in the pan, mix it all together, and I'd have a really yummy and flavorful fried rice dish using this shortcut ingredient. Next to where the hamburger helper is, here in my Walmart, on the very bottom shelf, they have these little packets of Alfredo flavored noodles. I would make them without the milk or the butter as the recipe calls for. I just make them using water, and then I would stir in 2 containers of plain Greek yogurt, and at that point you could also stir in either some chickpeas, either whole or mashed up, or you could grab a bag of frozen broccoli and keep it like a broccoli Alfredo. But that allows you to keep the meal on a budget, and even though it's meatless, that Greek yogurt that I'm stirring in will help take the place of the milk, and it will also add several grams of protein. If you want to jazz up plain old spaghetti marinara, have you tried cottage cheese? I feel like I was watching somebody recently who mentioned that their husband always eats cottage cheese with spaghetti, and I also really like cottage cheese with pasta. Plus, it adds a lot of protein to the dish. I can get a 16-ounce container of cottage cheese in the store brand at my Walmart today for $1.98. So if you don't have money in the budget for meat with your spaghetti sauce, it can be a good protein-rich alternative in my opinion. And I personally would just make the spaghetti, top it with the sauce, and then pile the cottage cheese on top of that. But you could also experiment with mixing the cottage cheese with the sauce, like pureeing it together, so it would be more of like a cheesy marinara sauce for your pasta. And normally I would do the full-fat cottage cheese. They're out in a 16-ounce size, but the low-fat cottage cheese also still has 12 grams of protein per serving. But I would definitely opt for the full fat if they have it in your store at that price. And those 3 ingredients are only costing me $4.30 today. So I would still have room for maybe a can or 2 of green beans or some frozen veggies, or maybe even a loaf of bread from the discount rack if they have some French bread available. There are lots of different options for gravy mixes at my Walmart for right around $1. I can also get a pound of sausage at my Walmart for $2.88. Now I could pick up a can of biscuits, and that would still be a pretty economical meal if I'm making the sausage gravy and then putting it over the biscuits, but that would put me pretty far over my $5 budget. However, I personally think that sausage gravy is also pretty good over just plain white rice, and that would actually bring me in about a quarter or so under my $5 budget. My aunt used to make this pasta dish to feed a crowd that I've mentioned several times on my channel, and she called it mostaccioli. It's sort of akin to like a Cincinnati chili that you serve over pasta. Have you ever had that before? Because there is a can of no meat chili in the recipe. And then I would pick up a can of diced tomatoes, a can of tomato soup, and a 1-pound package of penne pasta or another shortcut pasta. And what makes this dish so flavorful is that you actually cook the pasta in the sauce. So you combine all of those canned ingredients, and then you add enough water to cook your pasta in with the sauce. I am delighted to be working again with Fabric by Gerber Life to bring you today's video. I have 3 children, and caring for my family is a huge part of my life right now. So making sure that my family's financial future is secure, even if the unexpected happens, is a top priority. And that's why a quality term life insurance policy is really important. Fabric was designed by parents for parents to help you get a high quality, surprisingly affordable term life insurance policy in less than 10 minutes. Fabric has flexible policies that fit your family and your budget. Plus, it's all online and on your schedule, so you can just apply when it's convenient for you. So you could end up with a really affordable term life insurance plan, but the peace of mind you'll get will be priceless knowing that your family is taken care of in case the unexpected happens. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can cancel at any time. Plus, they have over 1,800 5-star reviews and a rating of excellent on Trustpilot. You could go from start to covered in less than 10 minutes with no health exam required. So join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric by Gerber Life to protect their family. Apply today by following the link in the description box, or go to meetfabric.com/cmindymom. Again, that's meetfabric.com/cmindymom, meetfabric.com/cmindymom. And thank you again to Fabric for sponsoring today's video. If you have a discount bakery rack in your Walmart like I do, you might be able to find a really great deal on bread, like this loaf of French bread that was on my rack today for 63 cents. They also still have packages of American cheese slices, 16 slices per package for $1.98. So now I have the ingredients for really easy grilled cheese sandwiches for $2.61, which leaves me almost half my budget to pick up something to go along with them. And what goes best with grilled cheese sandwiches? Probably some kind of soup. So I can either press the easy button and just get a few cans of the store brand condensed soup and put that in a pot, heat it up with a little water, and serve that with the grilled cheese sandwiches. Or I can get a little creative. My kids like refried beans, so I could pick up a can of refried beans and a can of tomato soup and stir that together with some water, and then heat that up, stir in a little bit of sour cream, and I would have like a creamy refried bean soup to dip my grilled cheese in. Of course, there are still several tortilla options that are around $2 a package, and with eggs being about $2 a dozen in my area, plus maybe picking up a can of refried beans, I could throw together some really easy breakfast tacos. Or I could get the corn tortillas and fry them in a little oil and have breakfast tostadas. Since they have that John Morrell smoked sausage for $1.34, I could use that to make like a really simple version of my dad's chili, and then I would just grab a couple cans of chili style beans and then a can of these chili ready tomatoes and simmer that all together. Just add a little bit of water, however thin I want it to be, and we always eat that over rice. And the cost of the ingredients comes out to just $4.82. Maybe you guys can help me out with this one. I've been trying to figure out how I can utilize this box stuffing mix at 93 cents a box to make some kind of budget meal. Maybe a couple of boxes of that with some eggs, maybe for like a breakfast casserole. If you have ideas for how to utilize that, let me know. And then the other thing on this same aisle are the boxes of potatoes. And I was trying to figure out how to do those boxed potatoes with some cottage cheese for like a cheesy potato casserole or maybe a potato soup. Per the usual, when I am making these extreme budget meal videos, I want to say that this is not meant to be a sustainable way of eating and living. These are meant to be ideas to get us through in a temporary tight spot. So if you or somebody you know is struggling with food insecurity, I hope you will reach out to schools, to churches, to local municipalities and charities that are available in your community, the resources that can help with food insecurity. I've also had people tell me that they don't necessarily need these budget meals, but that they're intrigued by these videos. And they make these recipes from time to time so they can donate what they save on their grocery bill to their local food pantry. For more budget meal ideas, be sure to check out the playlist in the description box below or pick out one of these videos to watch next.